Finally, we get Supercross back, and it's a pretty cool one. We've had a 2-week break. I don't know if we've ever had a 2-week break before. We're like 2 weekends off. But we just did, and we're back. Tomorrow is going to be legit. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Never had a race there before. I really like that. I know there's a lot of people out there that think it kind of takes away from Daytona, but I don't think so. I really like it. Looking at this track map, though, the one thing that really sticks out, I'm sure to you guys, but to me, like a lot, this track is huge. It's huge. And the lap times are going to be insane. These lap times, they could be a minute 30. And I have some data to back that up. If you're not aware who Start Your Systems is, it's a YouTube channel. The dude that runs it, Kellen, pretty sure that's his name. He hosts an MX simulator race every single weekend of the Supercross race that is coming up. So it's a replica track of what the race is going to be, and it's really cool. If you guys are interested in that, you should check it out. I really want to be a part of it. Like, I really want to race it, but I suck at that game, so I don't think that's ever going to happen. But it's a really cool thing that he does. What I think is pretty interesting is that you can kind of, in a way, you can compare lap times between that and the actual race. So what I did is I went through each race to his main event and to the real main event. I took the fastest lap time of each race to compare them. And what I found is that every single race so far, the real race is faster than the MX simulator race. And the average, it's 6.4 seconds faster, which is about 11.2%. That is the difference between the MX simulator and the real AMA Supercross race, is about 11%. So if you take that 11% and you do your calculations, you can take the minute 43, I know, isn't that ridiculous? Minute 43 lap time that they were doing on MX simulator for this Atlanta track, and you can calculate that to possibly being a minute 32 as the lap time for tomorrow at the real race. But the number underneath that, 122, what I did is, if you look here, this big 20% right here, that's at Daytona. There was a very big difference between the Daytona lap time on the game and the Daytona lap time in real life. 20% difference. So if you take that 20%, the Atlanta race, minute 22 lap time is what you can gather from that. Me personally, I think it's going to be somewhere between there. Pretty positive on that. I'm guessing mid 20s. It's like 125. I think that's a pretty fair guess, which would be insane because I don't think we've ever seen lap times like that, bar a mud race. I can't think of any time that I guess Daytona was ever that long of a lap time. It's going to get rid of a lot of the problems that people like us, fans, have had with the races so far. I guess the big problem, lappers. Should help a lot with lappers because, 16, 17 lap, 450 main event, something like that, maybe 18. I don't know. I haven't done the calculations. That's a lot less than what we've been getting, 25 or more laps. Because look at some of these lap times. A 47-second lap. Oh, no, that's MX Simulator. 41-second lap time? Are you kidding me? This is going to be twice that. This is literally going to be 2 times as long as the lap time as Houston 2. Maybe even longer than 2 times. That's insane. So let's take a look at the track map itself, because I feel like this is a good one to look at because this is a historical race. It's fun to look at Daytona. The rest of the Supercross races are pretty much the same, so there's not much to look at, but this one is so much different than anything we've had before. Let's take a look. Now, I also have to go to an Instagram picture to look because, just like Daytona, the track is being built very different than what the track layout shows. So I'm going to be using this picture right here in order to kind of compare, because this isn't the best view because, like I said, it's not the same. But let's take a look anyways. First off, left-hand corner off the start. I like that. I think I said that at Daytona. When you have a left-hand start, you have your rear brake because it's your inside foot is your left foot. That's the one being put out, not your right foot. So you have control over the rear brake. With just that little bit more control over your motorcycle, makes the first corner just that much safer. So I always like a left hand first turn. Then this whole section, it looks like it's a little bit different than what they're showing here. So we're going to switch over to Instagram. You can't really tell if that's still a double coming in or not into the rhythm section, but after that, it looks like 3 rollers. So this right here shows a double and then 2 rollers with possibly the third one being a little bit peaked. I don't know, but I guess we could say that this so far looks the same, but this is where it changes. So they have a double into the corner and then a triple into that corner. What it really is a double right there with a single on the inside, which looks to me, can't really tell very well, but it looks to me like the inside is possibly higher than the outside, which would be a good idea because it would create 2 different rhythms through here. So if it is like that, I'm guessing the main line will be to hit this double and then probably on the right side and then hit this single on the left so that they can double that, single into the corner towards the middle in order to protect the inside. And then there's another line where you can go to the outside, single, and then double into the corner to possibly try to get even more inside of those guys. But I can't really tell if that's actually what it is. So take that with a grain of salt. I might have to go look at some other pictures if there's any out there to see the difference. And then on the track map, it shows, see, a triple, so that's a little bit different. And then it shows a right-hander and then another triple into that double. And it's not another triple. It's a tiny little double into a left-hander into what looks like a pretty decent-sized double, big straight, into the finish line, which looks pretty normal. And then that looks like a pretty big double also. And then this whole section is way different. Let's see. So we got a double, which looks like it's much bigger than what that shows. Finish line, and then another double, which is way bigger than that little thing. But this part, so they show it like barely turning, barely turning, barely turning, barely turning, which would be pretty cool. Man, that's not what they did. So they got sharp left-hander, sharp right-hander into a tunnel jump. Then this, I can't really tell. Looks like some tiny rollers into maybe some rhythm over there. I can't really tell. So I'm going to throw that out because it doesn't look, I can't tell what's actually being built there. So this looks pretty interesting, but I don't think that's what's built. So we're going to just, and then the left-hander at the corner of the track, just like Daytona. This shows a triple right out of the corner. But if you look at this, it's like a corner with possibly a few small jumps, like a rhythm thing, into a double. Not a triple, a double. And then some smaller roller-looking things into another tunnel jump, where this has the triple into kind of rollers into kind of a rhythm. So that's all different. Looks like rollers right here into a tunnel jump. So again, can't really say much about it because I can't see what's going on. Okay, this whole next section looks the exact same. So finally, we can go to the video. Coming off that tunnel jump, probably not going to be too much passing through here. There could be. Some guys could really throw it in. We'll see. 450s, possibly triple on, off. 250s, double, triple, pretty much 85% of them. Then the factory guys might be able to triple on. It could be a good passing opportunity going into this next corner if the guy in front of you messes up his triple on and he has to go double, triple, and you can triple on. You'll have a lot more speed into the corner and hopefully be able to get to the inside of him so you can block pass him. Or if he defends the inside, then you can go to the outside. Then you'll have a ton of speed going into this rhythm section, which looks kind of gnarly, really, really long. Not sure what the rhythm's actually gonna be. Could possibly triple and then quad, and that is a triple, right? Yeah, triple, then quad. Unlike the arrow, you could triple that and then quad over the big one, which does look like there is a slightly bigger one. So yeah, triple in, quad over the big one, triple up on top, off, single. That would be really big. So yeah, land right here, triple onto that, off, single. We'll see if that's an option. That's not what the Arrow did. If they do that, that will be huge. Then whoop section, I guess I should say a 180-degree right-hander. Some passing, but it looks, is there a berm? Okay, yeah, there's more of a berm than what it's showing. Expect this one to get rutted if the rest of the track doesn't get rutted, because the guys will be in a much higher gear than they normally are going through a berm. So they won't be sliding the rear end as much because they just won't have that RPMs to really get the tire spinning, because they need to be in a higher gear going into the whoops. So something to look out for. A lot of times, if there's no ruts in any of the corners, there most likely will be ruts going into the whoop section because they're in a higher gear and they're not sliding the rear end through the corner like these guys like to nowadays, if you know what I mean. Whoop section into a double, which isn't my favorite. I've said this before. I don't like whoop sections straight into a jump, because if you get a little sketchy in the whoop section, you don't have that good of an exit plan, especially if you're endoing. We saw it with Jet Lawrence last year. You endo into the face of a jump. No fun. That's okay. Then a big wide left-hander. Did they build it up? No, that looks pretty flat. So it looks about the same as this. If I was to guess, they're going to leave this alone for most of the night just to get it rutted, unless it gets gnarly coming out of the corner, because then they're not going to have the run they need to do the triple. I'm guessing, though, that they're going to let this thing rut up pretty good, but I could be wrong. I don't know. That would be pretty interesting, though. Expect a few lines through here, but I don't see much passing happening. I don't know. Triple, and then this is not quite as raised up as it shows. Like that one is just taller than the rest of them. Maybe it does go up a little bit, but there's also one more single than what this thing. This thing has 7. There's actually 8. Arrow doubled in. There's no way. They're going to be tripling into that, and then triple, double. That's my guess. Triple, triple, double. That's big. That's pretty big. That's scary. No thanks. Supercross is too gnarly. That's why I don't do it. And then, yeah, that looks like a pretty mellow corner. I don't see much passing happening. Into 3 little rollers, into a long, into a right-hander, into a long straight, where this whole next section is different. When I was first looking at this, I was like, ooh, this is going to be real sketchy, because they're going to have so much speed going into this corner and this corner, because this is not much of a corner, especially if they take it wide and then they cut in. I was like, they're going to be flat tracking going into the whoops. But it looks like they wised up, because they put over under. They put possibly some rollers. I can't tell what they built right there. But there's an over under to slow them down before going into the whoops, which is a very good idea. Very good idea, because this is just disaster waiting to happen, this section right here, with that much speed and sliding going into the whoops. Yeah, I'm glad they changed that. Then a whoop section, then you can't see back in the corner back here. So, don't know if this is a berm, don't know if it's still flat. Big passing opportunity for somebody like Malcolm Stewart that's really fast in the whoops. The guys that are fast in the whoops, they're going to be, as long as they're not jumping through them, should be a lot of passing by guys being able to get to the inside on dudes that are slower through the whoops. So if they're not jumping through them, Cooper Webb, this is a good passing opportunity to pass him, because he's not that good at skimming whoops. But if he can jump through them, he'll be just fine. Flat left-hander into a wall, into sand, which in the videos looks gnarly. Looks pretty deep. And it is rolled out like this too, not like Daytona where it was just flat. I was really hoping that there was going to be rollers at Daytona in the sand section, but there wasn't. That was kind of dumb. Back into this, which they're probably going to be coming out of the sand and jumping pretty dang far into those little rollers. So that's the track. It looks pretty decently fast. It looks pretty fast. So that minute 42 lap time, minute 43 and a half lap time that they were doing in the MX simulator, that's not going to happen. And I don't think a 132 is going to happen either. I think it'll be closer to this 122 to 125 range, if I was to guess. Looks like a pretty dang fast track, especially this section. Those doubles, this double especially looks really big. Like, it looks like the size of a triple with a smaller face and a bigger landing. Weird. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Track could be really cool. Track could be really weird. I could see it going both ways, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to make for some good racing. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. 2 weeks off felt like a really long time. Felt like we were in the off season or something again. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this track in the comments. What do you think the lap times will be? The person that gets the closest lap time to what it actually is gets a big old thumbs up from me, dog. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. Josh Hill's back too, which is dope. I think he's subscribed. So, Josh, if you're seeing this, what's up, my dude?